Femi Oguntoye. Glad to have you join us. So it's the Armed Forces Remembrance Day across the nation, and everyone is celebrating the efforts of fallen heroes.
Heroes, as well as heroes who are actually still living, those who made the country proud, those who paid with their blood, and of course those who are still paying with their lives to see that security in Nigeria.
Perhaps it's the biggest kind of sacrifice you can make.
Exactly,
Go to war knowing that you can either come back alive with one leg or one hand,
or not even coming back at all.
And then we are also hoping that the same discipline, the same sacrificial mindset can be imbibed by other sectors
exactly,
of the nation, and then we begin to see a bigger and better.
But if you ask me, the remembrance shouldn't just be armed forces alone. I mean, we could say armed forces, but everyone at one given point at a time is always given or being sacrificial. But it's also good that we've carved out a day to celebrate these people, which usually was supposed to be November 11th, but now January 17th.
And really, that's another issue. It was changed to January 15th in Nigeria in commemoration of the surrender of Biafran troops to the federal troops on 15 January 1970. And that concluded the Nigerian Civil War that sought to tear apart the unity of Nigeria. Now, that's also being debated as we speak. Many are saying that a lot of injustice took place during the Biafran War, and why should we celebrate injustice, as it were? We're looking forward to a time where Nigeria can totally settle the issues surrounding the Civil War and educate the Nigerian populace about what happened. And also, after that war, there was the issue of rehabilitation, reintegration, and the rest. There are people who have the opinion that that really did not work out. And we're looking forward to a new age and a new season in this part of the world.
Exactly, that's what we're looking forward to. But then the way we'll do it, we'll take a quick break, and shortly after then, we'll be looking more into Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And
when we come back, we'll just take you straight to Ibadan, where there's the Armed Forces Remembrance Day being celebrated by the
Welcome back. Yes, that was at Ibadan, where they're celebrating the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. And like we did say, the shortly after then, we'll be speaking to some of these armed forces, retired armed forces. And we have in the studio, I'll allow Nifemi take their names.
All right, so we have the retired members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Lagos State chapter. Join us now is Esho Joseph, who is Remnath coordinator in Lagos. Thank you very much for finding time to come.
Thank you for having me.
Also joined by Otumba Oluwatoyin Betiku. Did I get that?
Yeah.
Vice Chairman of Remnath here in Lagos. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the celebration. I need to find out, did you guys really fight on the battlefield? Did you carry guns while you were in service?
Okay. When you say battlefield, there are lots of battlefields. Are you talking about peacekeeping? It's a battlefield. Are you talking about internal security? It's a battlefield. Are you talking about the battle against insurgency? It's a battlefield. So, depending on the actual battlefield you are referring to, but every soldier is prepared
to fight.
To fight. And then, whichever way it comes, you are good to go.
You know, you're looking like civilians.
Exactly, that's what I was going to ask.
But then, it's possible that you had used a gun at some point.
Or it depends on the armed, which of the armed forces
No. You see, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Air Force,
that's right.
We are all soldiers.
That's right.
Okay.
Members of the Nigerian Armed Forces.
That's right.
Okay, and you don't need to look aggressive and
with six
whatever.
Packs and
we have 6 packs, but the clothes we have to cover it. But actually, your approach to life differs when you are retired. We are retired, but we're not tired. Right. I'm still good to go. I'm fit to go to war. Okay. But the actual thing is this: it is not in the physical harassment that makes you the soldier.
Exactly.
What you are seeing is the disguise of me. And then when it gets there,
it's in the military competence that you're.
That's all.
I get exactly.
Yes.
But let's look at the Remembrance Day now. We know that you usually celebrate it 11th of November, but now it's been shifted to January 15th. Let's go back to what led to Armed Forces Remembrance Day?
Okay, if I may come in that area, Armed Forces Remembrance Day formerly used to be celebrated on the 11th, they call it 11th day of November every year.
Okay.
Marking the day the Second World War was declared closed. But after the Nigerian Civil War came to an end on January 15, 1970.
That's right.
Since that time, Nigeria government didn't fit to be celebrating remembrance, Armed Forces Remembrance Day, in memory of the fallen heroes on the day Nigerian Civil War ended. That was how January 15 came into being.
I learned it's not just a day to celebrate fallen heroes, also living heroes. We have people who are constantly putting their lives in the line to see that the Nigeria is well protected as well.
Exactly. And that is why Remembrance, retired member of Nigerian Armed Forces, came into being. Okay. We discovered that every year this January 15 has become just a national, just a ritual. So what is the point? Say you are remembering the fallen unknown soldiers. Why the known soldiers and treated and dying soldiers that are still alive are not being remembered.
Let's take you back a little, because we're talking about what caused the change from November 11th to January 15th. There are people who have the opinion that, well, indeed we had some people who sacrificed their life in the bid to save and protect Nigeria's unity.
Right.
But then the issues that transpired before and after the Civil War is still being debated over 50 years after. Now, there's an article on Vanguard today. I'm just going to read an excerpt for you. Okay. It says the Igbo question in Nigeria is a festering wound in the body of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and her army. It can also be an Achilles heel or a Waterloo. The pollution of River Niger, from where Nigeria derived her name, with the blood of thousands of innocent Asaba people, gruesomely murdered by the Nigerian army, may hold the secret reason why the country has never known peace or made progress. The only restitution available for Nigerians, therefore, is to fill up the measure of their father's guilt. Would you say that Nigeria has answered the questions of the Civil War? That is what being celebrated today as the Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
If I may come at this point, has Nigeria been able to answer this question? I will tell you no. But the issue is this: to every soldier that is loyal, something is paramount in his mind: the unity of the country. And you bear witness that every loyal soldier is ready to sacrifice even his life to keep the country as one. So whichever way we look at it, the question will keep coming and agitation will keep coming, but the most important responsibility of every loyal soldier is to ensure that Nigeria remains as one. Okay? So if the questions that were being asked before the Civil War are still ongoing, it is still left to our leaders
to settle the grouses,
to sit down and look at it properly. Like you asked a question about Remembrance Day, and my coordinator answered by telling you, how can you claim to be celebrating the fallen heroes when the living ones are
not being
treated with disdain, with so much disdain, treated shabbily? You can just imagine a soldier that has given all his life. I normally use this language, we were captured when we were 18, 22 years old. And 35 years in the service, you've given your all, most especially my colleagues in the Nigerian army. 35 years after, you are no more useful to yourself, the community, and you are being treated this manner. Some even died because of common diarrhea. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our leaders to really sit down and think. We don't deserve this treatment from the leaders we have in the country. Sometimes we meet some individuals that do appreciate us. As we speak, don't be surprised that we must have lost a soldier this morning defending the integrity of the country. So at the end of the day, we are lucky to come out alive. Being alive, we still come out with some scratches here and there. Some of us, we have eye issue. Some of them are incapacitated completely. But we are lucky to be alive today to still come on TV to talk. Okay? So there's need for our leaders, from the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to the Speaker of the House, to sit down and look into the welfare, well-being of retired soldiers in the country.
Can this issue be isolated? Because it appears that it's not only a challenge for retired military officers. It is everywhere. It's the same thing for retired teachers. It's the same thing for retired vulcanizers, if there are any people like that. Okay, but then you cannot just isolate the Nigerian military and say, oh, they have not been treated well, when it is the same across
every other
Don't you think
field.
that perhaps if we look at this issue from a national perspective, we're going to get easier solution and a faster one at that?
I agree with you. Sorry, I agree with you to an extent. But you also, I want you to tilt towards my own direction a bit by looking at the soldier. He's somebody specially trained in the areas of warfare
and combat.
Are you getting me? Now it is dangerous. For example, I'm not saying the government should not treat the retired teachers, doctors, and everybody fairly, but when you maltreat, you treat a group of people that you have already trained. We are the same people that we kept the unity of this country together. Okay, some of us left 17 years ago, some of us left 20 years ago, but before we left the service, we must have been sent on one mission or the other to keep the country one. So right now that you are pushing these people into the society, there's need for you to look at their welfare properly, okay, and treat it, because when you maltreat people like this, when you treat them with disdain, you are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. That retired soldier that is sitting on a wheelchair there, don't be surprised, can still raise an army.
Okay.
And train an army.
If it's not
properly taken care of.
If it becomes
could it even be the source of some of the security challenges
issues that we're having?
Now you're talking.
Okay, let me come in that area. See, they say no, an hungry man is an angry man.
That's right.
Haven't trained us in the act of competency. No, and then some of us we disengage voluntarily. Some disengage through health reasons. Then they are not well taken care of. You say according to Comrade Napoleon, he said all animals are equal, but some are still equal than the other. I don't mean that we are superior than our civilian counterparts. But if you know how much it takes the federal government to train soldiers.
Okay, so
then after the retirement, take for instance, in 2010, pension review was conducted in the country. Our civilian counterparts were paid 53%, which was approved by that commission, but we are only paid 33%.
We might need to just interject here. We're going to come back. We just want us to go straight to Ibadan and see what's up or what's going on there. And shortly after that, we'll be back still talking to our guest in the studio. Stay tuned.
This is what they do in the barracks regularly, perhaps on a daily basis. To some of us who have the ambition of becoming soldiers or joining the army, you can see that it's not a joke.
It might be difficult because
like that for 3-4 hours is not a joke. So you can start, if you want to join the Nigerian army at home, when you wake up in the morning, wait about 5 o'clock and just stand in your room or somewhere for the next 3-4 hours and don't shake. You'll be beginning to train yourself to to become a soldier.